Joey Babineau here with Powerhouse Affiliates. We're doing another webinar here on Friday afternoon, and I have Bill Dorey with me here as well. He's going to be doing most of the presentation today on Outbrain, which is a native ad traffic source, and we plan on showing you the inside of Outbrain, some strategies on how to set up some campaigns, and there will be some follow-ups to this one as well with more data once the data starts coming in, which is usually the way we run these case studies and webinars. For example, last week I did one on Facebook, and it is inside the Powerhouse Affiliate Premium Members dashboard, where I set up a campaign in the diet niche for keto diet on Facebook. And I'm already starting to see several leads coming in on that campaign, and we will be sharing the data on that one as well inside Powerhouse Affiliate for the premium members. But this webinar is going to cover native ads today, and I will pass it over to Bill Dorey, who will do most of the presentation, and I'll be watching the chat for anyone that has any questions or comments. Okay, take it away, Bill.
All right, guys, hope you're pumped. We have a pretty good turnout this time, just like the last one we did with MGID. We're going to do things a little bit differently this time. Last time I put together a package where you guys could go ahead and set up your own campaign. That went very well, but this time I'm actually going to show you the guts of everything, and we're going to set up a campaign in real time. I've already gone ahead and done that. However, you know, we're going to go through it as we go. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, perfect. All right, so guys, so this is how to build a profitable native ads campaign, the Outbrain edition. And this is actually part 2 to our native ad series. So we're going to talk about some stuff we talked about last time. The reason why is we have a lot of new guys that are just jumping in, and I want to give the foundation of native ads for everybody, so everybody can be on the same page as we go through this. And even if you did tune into our part 1 and you've seen some of the things that I'm presenting, unless you've gone through it and watched the video 10 times, it's not going to hurt you to hear it a second time. If anything, it's going to drill it in and make it make more sense this time. So let's get started. What are native ads? Now I'm going to gloss through this very fast. I'm not going to put as much time into it as I did last time, but we're going to go through. So what are native ads? Native ads are essentially pieces of writing or other material in an online publication that resembles the publication's editorial content, but is actually paid for by an advertiser and intended to promote a product or service. So what does that mean essentially? Here's an example of some native ads. You can see at the top, we have related articles. These are posts from the actual website. However, below, we have another heading said trending now, and there's some other articles. However, they're not really articles, they're actually ads by Rev Content. So in essence, native ads are pieces of content that resemble articles from that website, but they're actually ads. So it kind of gives that little sneak factor in there when a viewer is going through the page. They can't really differentiate what's native ads and what's actual content from the site. So advertisement disguised as articles and other content. I'm going to show you guys some live examples, but I'm going to do it later on. Here's 3 types of native ads. So you're going to see something that's more related to content promotion. So this is if you had an authority style site like Joey's building with Day Job Hacks, you had some great blog content, and you want to get some more traffic to your blog for building up your funnel. So you could easily go to any one of the native providers and you could set up an ad like this. So as you can see here, most Instagrammable desserts in the US. That's obviously different than what Joey would be promoting. However, you know, he could easily get some traffic from this type of content. Now, another type is a product promotion. So this is where it's not going to an actual site for content, but rather a CPA offer. So this is kind of what we're going to be focusing on with our native ads. And a third is kind of a blend because they can be either content or product, but it's delivered differently. So instead of having your typical block of native ads on a page, instead this is a push notification. So if you're on a mobile device, you'll automatically get a notification from this website featuring native content. With desktop, it's the same thing. If you accept push notifications with your Chrome browser, just as you're browsing throughout the days and weeks following, you're going to see different content pop up in the bottom corner as a notification. We're not going to get into push notifications in this webinar. We covered it quite heavily within the MGID. And since we are promoting Outbrain or using Outbrain for promoting, they don't even have push notifications to my knowledge. So we're going to go with just typical product promotion. So you might ask, why native ads? You know, there's search traffic like Bing and Google. There's Facebook. There's many providers out there. Why native? In 2019, native ads will make up over 60% of display ad spend, and they are the fastest growing part of the market. Advertisers have found that native ads are extremely profitable. And due to the nature of native ads, they have a highly effective form of display advertising. Advertisements that blend seamlessly with content has created a more receptive audience compared to traditional display ads. And to kind of recap what that means, like I mentioned in the previous slide, these ads are kind of disguised as content. So, you know, a lot of people, when they're online, they see so many ads, subconsciously, they automatically just don't even look. But by disguising it as content, you know, you kind of get past that barrier with the user, and you know it'll get their attention, kind of more so than you would with a typical ad. So we're going to talk about native and evergreen, and I covered evergreen quite a bit in the last one. I'm going to glaze over it again, but it is very important when you're new and you're getting into paid traffic. What are evergreen niches? So evergreen niches are niches that have a permanent relevance and are not niches that have a permanent relevance and a never-ending demand. Their relevance does not rely on seasons or trends, but is universally effective any time of the year. So these are areas that you can advertise in that are going to be there in years to come. They're not going anywhere. They serve a universal demand. Some examples are dating, which is something we're going to focus on in this webinar, weight loss, skincare, health, gaming, gambling, and there's literally lists of like 500 different evergreen niches depending on which direction you want to go. But as long as you're into something that's not going to be here today and gone tomorrow, you know, you're more or less within the evergreen umbrella. So really, it's the opposite of seasonal or trending products. Native and evergreen is the perfect combination, in my opinion, and the reason why is you're using the top converting display ad source available right now. With evergreen, we're looking at proven markets. We know weight loss has been effective, and it always will be. Since I've started affiliate marketing, weight loss has been one of the biggest markets within the space. So broad markets, as you can see too, there's many different facets you can attack weight loss or dieting. You could focus on keto like Joey's doing within our Facebook webinar next week, and he has been doing. You could focus on supplements. You could focus on digital products or ebooks that are actually giving people strategies to healthy living that will result in weight loss. So, you know, these evergreen niches are fairly broad, and you can kind of hone in on different segments of the market. Scalability, again, because they are so broad, there's lots of room to scale. There's nothing worse than, you know, working on a campaign, getting it to where it's profit and realizing that there's just not that much demand and you can't take it to the next level. So, and again, because they're evergreen, they're not going anywhere, you have the element of longevity as well. Moving on, we're gonna look at some various native networks. We did this in the previous, this is going to make a little more sense as we get into it compared to last week. So here's some of our native ad networks. Some of the top ones: Rev Content, MGID, Taboola, Yahoo, Gemini, and Outbrain. Now, they are very different. So each native ad network is slightly different and may have different rules and regulations for advertising. For example, ads that might be approved on Rev Content may be rejected on Outbrain. And that's what I mean when you guys will understand more now is I'm going to show you some hurdles we've had with Outbrain and getting our ads rejected. And these ads would have been approved in an instant on Rev Content or MGID or other networks. But because Outbrain holds a higher standard for their content, they're very picky about what can be promoted and how it can be promoted. Some networks prefer content promotion over product promotion. Be sure to read the terms and conditions for your network to see if your campaign is compliant. And I do notice that Outbrain is very heavy on the content promotion versus product promotion. So this would be an example. Now, how are native ads delivered? So various companies have developed networks for distributing native ads to their publishers. Using these networks, native ads are typically delivered via ad blocks known as widgets. The list of the native ad network is growing every day, but there are some very clear industry leaders that have proven quality traffic, which are the ones we had just looked at. So widgets are the term you're going to use when you're measuring where your ads are going to be placed for the most part within any native platform. Now, Outbrain deals with widgets a bit differently than other networks, and we're going to get into that. Here's some key points on Outbrain. It's very high quality traffic. It can be a bit expensive because of that, But because it's not saturated with low quality content, you see that you have some bigger performers and publishers on there. Like CNN, for example, is a publisher for Outbrain. So you're not going to see a lot of sketchy ads and low quality ads on CNN. You know, it's going to be high quality. Very strict on content, like I had mentioned. They don't just let you promote anything. Pixel events. This is something that we're going to get more into as I continue the follow along. However, you have the ability where you can create specific events within Outbrain. So if you had a funnel like Joey has now with Day Job Hacks, every time somebody lands on his first page, he could create a pixel that says page view. If they opted into his funnel and watched his webinar or subscribed to his list, when they land on that page, he could add an Outbrain pixel and he could name it lead. So each event during your funnel or even during your campaign, you have the ability for Outbrain to measure what's happening and when. So every time you get a lead event, Outbrain's going to display where the lead event came from. Every time you get a page view or a conversion of maybe a sale, Outbrain is going to show you that. Now, this has to be configured. It's not super simple, but just the fact that Outbrain offers this, there's not a lot of networks that do that. I know Facebook is big on it, and because of it, they're ahead of the game. So, this is something to look forward to if you're planning on getting into Outbrain and, getting your hands dirty. Different widget reporting. So I'm going to get into this a little bit more as we go, but I'll give you a brief overview. Most of the time when you're looking at widgets and how they're identified by Rev Content or other networks, they're identified by a number. So one of the widgets that's generating traffic and conversions for you could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say widget ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With an Outbrain, they're not using the numbers. They're actually using, I'm actually going to show you guys here, publishers and sections. So unlike most other native platforms, Outbrain does not use typical widget ID reporting. Instead, widgets and sub-widgets. Instead of widgets and sub-widgets, Outbrain uses publishers and sections. So as you can see here, instead of having like a widget ID, you have a publisher name. So we can see here CNN, we can see Fox News, MSN US, Fox News, and instead of a sub-widget, we have a section. So here it's CNN US. Now, obviously, CNN has many subdomains and many different pages, depending on what branch is doing what in what country. The traffic for this is actually coming from the US portion of CNN. And the same thing here with Fox. You can see CNN Opinion, which would have been another section of CNN. So it gives you, I like this more because instead of having just some number, you have a domain to relate it to. So you actually can go and find what domain your ads are being placed on, and kind of gives you more of a comfort that it's not just some low quality site that's being driven by bot traffic. So moving on, the testing process. Now I'm going to cover this briefly. We've covered it extensively, and we're going to continue to cover it extensively because it is the most important element that affiliates are missing. They don't understand the testing process. They just say, I'm going to put up a landing page with this ad on this traffic source with this offer and expect it to work. There's a lot more to it. Once you've got to that point, you're in the game, but you have to understand data. You have to understand testing in order to have any form of success. So testing allows us to determine which ad copies will make you the most profit, which landing pages will make you the most profit, which offers will make you the most profit, and in this sense, which widgets will make you the most profit. Finding the right combination of ad copy, landing page, and widgets will allow you to start making serious profit. In order to find this winning combination, we will need to capture and analyze our campaign data. So all of this data that I'm talking about and all these things, determining ad copies and landing pages, etc. Most times your CPA network, like Vault, for example, or any other, it's very limited on what you're going to be able to see, what segments of your traffic are converting on these metrics within Vault's reporting. And on the other hand, too, you're going to be able to see some of it on Outbrain, but there's a lot of data in the middle that you're going to miss, and you need something in order to track that. We use something in most of our training called BMob, and it's great. So like here, we're going to do it here. So click trackers allow us to capture campaign data so we can determine which part of our campaign is working and which part of our campaign is not working. We can also determine which widgets will generate sales and which will not. There are many click trackers out there such as CPV Lab, Balloon, Funnel Flux, and Thrive. These are all paid trackers. There are free alternatives available, such as BMob. So that's what we're focusing on. I do believe it costs money after 1 million events, which would be like clicks, conversions, whatever. If you're brand new, there's no need to go and try to pay money for these trackers. Start off with something like BMob. It serves the purpose. So here's some examples of campaign data. Here's some landing pages, and you can see here we have visits, clicks, unique clicks, conversions. So if we were only looking within Vault Media, the only thing we're going to see is clicks. And this is how many people have actually clicked on our landing page and clicked the offer link. On the other side of Outbrain, we're only, or on the, I guess you could say any native platform, you're only going to really see the widgets or the visits, which would be how many people clicked your ad. Now, if you have post back pixel set up, you'll be able to get the conversions as well, but you're not going to get the breakdown of your landing pages, and you're not going to get the breakdown of your ad copy as well. So these here would be individual IDs for your ads within native ads. So using BMob, you're able to determine which ads are generating the conversions. And you can even get down and look at like what your click-through rate is on that ad. Some ads will cause your landing pages to perform better because the ad is bringing in a different breed of people. So these are all important things. And here's some widget data. Now, this widget data is not from Outbrain. I'm going to explain why it's not. We had an Outbrain campaign set up, and we went through some hurdles with compliance. So I don't have that data readily available. However, it's typically the same thing. So like if we're looking here, instead of having this number, we would have CNN.com within our click tracker. And of course, we can see the visits, clicks, conversions, etc. So the whole idea is to determine which landing pages are going to generate conversions, which offers, which ads, and most importantly, which widgets. Widgets are the source of where your ads are placed. And obviously, depending on where you're getting your traffic from is going to greatly depend on how well your offers convert. All right, so we're going to look at a real campaign example. Let me know, can you still see my page here, Joey?
Yep, everything looks good. Sounds good.
Are you looking at the presentation, or can you see me flipping through tabs?
I can see you flipping through the tabs.
Perfect. Okay. Excuse me. So here's where you're going to start. If you're coming into this brand new, you're going to start with App Launcher. App Launcher is a free hosting service through Powerhouse affiliate. No reason why you shouldn't use it. If you're promoting anything anywhere, you're going to need hosting, so you may as well get it for free through Powerhouse. Now, if you take a look here, the first step was for me was to set up a domain. I had gone ahead and just used an old domain I've had from before. Let me see here. So let's go to add-on domains. Oh, it actually kicked me out. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, great. So this is my app launcher. So I went ahead, and you're gonna have to either buy a domain through app launcher, or you can add one through the add-on domain section here. Once it loads, yeah. So if you're purchasing a domain through app launcher and it's your first one, it'll appear there automatically. If you're purchasing additional domains, you're gonna go through here in your add-ons, you're gonna include them here. So it's as simple as just adding the domain and clicking add and making sure you change your name servers over. We have plenty of training covering that, but I just wanted to show you that step one is getting your domain set up. Step two is finding a landing page. So I went ahead and just went into powerhouseaffiliate.com/templates. And as you can see, we have a bunch of great templates in here. So I actually decided to just use the resources within Powerhouse. And I looked and I took this Russian dating landing page and I downloaded it. From there, I went into my file manager. And I had installed the landing page. So you literally upload the file you're going to download from Powerhouse Affiliate. You can upload it, and that goes for any landing page you're going to use. And again, we have extensive training on this. This is just showing you a quick path through. So once I got my landing page set up, I went ahead and went into Vault Media, and I decided to look for an offer. So I'm going to go to offers here. Dating. And here we have Russian beauty date CPL, native only. Okay, so the reason why I chose this offer is because it is a CPL offer. A lot of times you're going to get into like SOI and DOI, which would be single opt-in and double opt-in for dating. This one is actually really unique. It's literally, they entered this this form field here and join now, and I make $6. So it's fairly simple. This landing page does not look terrible. There is a little bit of cleavage, and that's something I had to worry about with Outbrain, which we'll get into as we go. But overall, I believe if we actually click my offer link, I think the destination page is not as provocative as this one, but we'll get there. So, you know, it's fairly simple. You know, it's a lead gen offer, one page. $6 is a pretty good payout. I'm sure once you get some traffic in and it's decent quality, you could probably even get more. That $6 is just the street payout. So. And this goes for any network you're working with. Anytime you see a payout there, that's not the bottom line. That's where they're going to start you at. And, you know, as time goes on, you may be able to ask for more, or they may even offer you more depending on how your traffic's performing. All right, so back to this. So I went ahead, I got my hosting set up, I got my domain set up, I downloaded my landing page, and now I found an offer. So once I've done all this, I got to tie everything into my click tracker. So I went ahead and created a BMob account. In here, it's literally as simple as just adding all your elements to your campaign. So start from one end and move to the other. I like to start with my traffic source. So literally go in to traffic sources, new from template, type in Outbrain, click it. You're done. Click save. It's as simple as that. There's a little bit more that you can get into if you get into our Powerhouse section, get into the campaign tracking stuff. There's a few modifications, but if you're just jumping in, this is simply all you need. Hit save. I'm going to cancel because I already have Outbrain set up. So we're going to move from the traffic source, and next we're going to move into your landings. So landings are landing pages. You should already have your landing page installed at this point. We're going to click new. Type in your landing page name, landing page 1, type in the URL, landingpage.com. Done. If you're using a campaign that has, or a landing page that has multiple offers, you're going to change that out here. Offers 1, because there's only one on this one, so we're going to hit save. You've literally just added your traffic source, you've added your landing page. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to affiliate networks. It's very simple to add your affiliate network as well. I'm not going to go right into the setting up of the tracking side of it, as we have done it many times within Powerhouse. The resources are there. You guys can follow along with that. But it's literally just as simple as just clicking or typing Vault Media and adding new. Here's your postback URL. Look inside Powerhouse to figure out how to configure that. You click save. So that's literally it. The last thing we have to do is our offer. And to offers here, click new, offer name, affiliate network. You're gonna choose Vault Media or wherever you're getting it from. This is the offer URL, and literally change this to manual, put your payout in, click save, you're done. There's something you're gonna have to add to this URL if you want tracking to work between Vault Media or your affiliate network and BMob. Jump inside Powerhouse once again, and the training is there to show you exactly what you need to put. We're gonna cancel on this. So I've just showed you how to add everything, and the only thing we have to add now to go ahead and move into Outbrain is our campaign. So you're going to click campaigns. We're going to click new. Name, let's put in dating, CPL, traffic source, Outbrain. Country you can leave blank because the geo redirect is already set up from the offer level, so leave that at global. We're going to move down. Currency, what are you being paid in? US dollars, of course. CPA, actually my mistake, leave this at auto. If you're in the US, this is what you're paying per click. So if you're spending US dollars, this is what you would put. If you're Canadian, you would put CA. And it also depends on what the traffic source actually wants you to spend. Because like if you go into Google, you can actually spend Canadian dollars. Facebook, you can spend Canadian dollars. A lot of native networks only deal in US dollars. So you may be stuck leaving that as US. Now for destination, we're going to put built-in flow, add landing, pick your landing page. LP1, click add offer, click the offer you had added. Mine is the Russian dating CPL. And you would click save at this point, and that is it. Your campaign is set up. I'm not going to save this one, but I'm going to show you what the next screen would have been if I had have saved it. So we're going to go into Outbrain here. I'm going to click campaign links. So after you'd saved your campaign, this is what you're going to see next. This is the URL you're going to use for Outbrain. Outside of that, this landing page pixel needs to be placed at the bottom of your index page and your landing page, just above the body, the ending body tag. I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. It's in Powerhouse. Once again, everything you need is in Powerhouse. I'm going to repeat it over and over and over because it's the truth. Click URL. This is going to be replaced on your landing page for any time your landing page would have your offer link. Again, that's in Powerhouse. That's simply it. So you add those two things to your landing page, you take that link from above, and you're ready to head over to Outbrain. So I went over to Outbrain and I created a campaign. I'm going to go through the setup real fast with you, and then I'm going to show you my campaign and the problems I'm having with it currently. So we're going to hit add campaign. Okay, start date. I'm going to set it for today. My start time, I want the campaign to start daily at midnight. You can set a schedule if you like. Target, so include audience segments. We're going to leave that actually in that section because we're not targeting audiences for this campaign. Location, I'm going to put Canada because that's what I'm targeting for my CPL offer. Advanced audience targeting. So here you can have a little bit of fun. Obviously, the first thing I want to look for is dating. And there's nothing. So that kind of limits, sometimes you can find exactly what you're promoting as a topic or an interest within the network. In this case, it's not, so I have to think a little bit. I'm going to go into entertainment and just take a peek. So books, celebrities, comedy, music, television. That's very broad, and it's not really appealing to I guess simply men. Women like books, celebrities, comedy, all that other stuff as well. This is a Russian dating offer focusing on women. So we're going to want to focus on targets that are interesting, in my opinion, to men. Home and lifestyle, I believe, had one in here, like this one, relationships. I think that one's perfect. People looking at relationships advice are going to see our ads and hopefully find somebody they can date. News, we're going to leave. Recreation, you can take a peek in here. I kind of like this because I find a lot of these things like outdooring, not so much gaming, I guess, but like dining, cycling, boating. These are the type of people you're going to find that are active in life and are more likely to get into the dating scene than somebody that just sits in their house all the time. So you can play with some of these as well. And one thing I did take completely is sports. I would say a vast majority of sports fans are men. Hopefully there's no controversy with that, but I think it's true. And if you look here, like target them all. You're probably getting most dudes, and you're probably getting red-blooded dudes that they're hardcore, they love sports, and they're likely to want to find and date women. So I think that's a perfect interest. And I just go through, like I said, be creative. There's probably things I didn't even think of in here, and just because it seems obvious doesn't mean it's going to convert. Again, it's all about testing. So once you've done your interests, we're going to look at placements. Now, my offer only accepts desktop. And right now it's on all, so I'm going to take desktop off, and then you can see here it unlocks the other two. So by removing that, I have none. Let's include desktop. Let's include tablet. Now, anybody that's been testing for any period of time knows right off the bat that desktop traffic is more expensive. Vast majority of traffic out there these days is mobile. So it is kind of a minority when it comes to the big scene, but the quality is usually much better. And there's a reason why the advertiser does not want mobile traffic. It likely does not convert very well from on the CPL, I guess you could say, setup. So I'm going to leave this. I don't know much about this, I'll be honest, but I like the sounds of it. Outbrain Extended Network. Let's try it. Somebody may decide not to. It's completely up to you. I'm going to leave it. Ad block. So this here will block people that have ad block in place. Now, The system will automatically do it. I was reading on it. However, there are sometimes people have ad blockers that slip through the Outbrain system. And when they do, there's another line of defense, I guess, where you could exclude ad block users. That's completely up to you. I would definitely check it. It's not going to hurt. Now, here we're looking for our UTM tracking code. Now, this is very important if we're going to make BMob and Outbrain talk. I didn't know exactly what their UTM code is. So what I did is I went to help here and tracking parameters. Now, if we look here, you can see this is their recommended tracking UTM code. So I'm going to use it. And I'm also going to show you, I'll paste it here. When we go back to BMob and we take a look at our traffic sources, and we look at Outbrain, let's click edit. When we use the preset for Outbrain, it automatically populated all of this information. So this is really going to be appended to our BMob link, and it's going to interface with Outbrain. Now, we need Outbrain to know that that's going to happen, and this is what this UTM code will do for us. So as long as you have all these presets here in BMob and you just went to the help link and copy and pasted their recommended, you're good to go. And you could even type in something. Let's take a peek here. I'm going to use my landing page. Okay. So I've configured mine correctly within my other campaign. So when I add this here, you can see it automatically appends all of this UTM code to my URL. And when I click it, it loads, and you can see here it's appended. So Outbrain's going to replace all this data as you get real ad traffic or real traffic from their network, and this will populate in BMob so you know what's going on. Yeah, so once that's included, third-party pixels I'm not covering in this. We're going to cover it in a later time as we get moving. Bid strategy, two ways you can do this if you want to get into conversions. You can set one up, and you can allow the Outbrain system to auto-optimize for you. So by doing this, every time a conversion occurs, the system's going to say, hey, I seen where that conversion came from. I'm going to try to find you more people like that. And it's a very great system. Facebook has it as well. Depending on how good their algorithm is and their AI is, a lot of the times, you know, it optimizes better than what I can optimize it. So for this purpose, we're going to stick to clicks. If you want to know more about optimizing based on conversions, you can look inside Powerhouse Affiliate, and we do have resources there, and you can also start a forum post. We encourage anybody that's anything that you don't know or have a question about, create a forum post. We're all there to answer, and chances are there's 100 other people that want to ask that same question but haven't. So, you know, it's a great resource for everybody. Budget type, you can set this to whatever you like. I'd recommend at least 50. If I really had to say, you know, what's good, I would say 100. But 50 will get you through. 100's great. What's the minimum here? Yeah, so you can even go as low as 20, which is really good. A lot of these networks, I do know MGID's 50, Rev Content's 100. So that's pretty flexible, having a minimum budget of 20. So course here per day, there's an accelerated spend. We're not going to get into that. I don't recommend it either. I would really want my campaign to spend equally throughout the day. And the reason why is you may get day parting data as you go. You're going to notice that your campaign just seems to work better during 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. for whatever reason it may be. Time of day does matter. So using accelerated, it's literally going to spend your budget as fast as it can. With a budget of $50, I bet it would be spent within an hour. So after you've gone through that, I'm not going to create this campaign because I already have one created, just showing you guys, but you would click next and you would create your content. So I'm going to head over to the content section to show you what that looks like. Okay, great. So this is where you're going to add your content. You can see here it's under my Russian dating campaign. You're going to type in your URL here. So like I mentioned previously, when you're looking at your campaign inside of BMob, second here. you're going to see your campaign links. You should have added the script and this click URL to your landing page. And now we're going to focus on this campaign URL. So I'm going to open this in Notepad. You can see here, and you might recognize it, this is all that UTM code that was shown in the previous step here in Outbrain. That code, because it's also inside of our traffic source within BMob, it appends it automatically for us. Now, the way that Outbrain has its content set up, you cannot just include that entire string. I'll show you what happens when I do. This URL is not valid, consult our consulting guidelines, etc. So what I realized is you have to do it this way. Let's look at where all that UTM code stops, and we're going to remove it and use that instead to add content. So as you can see, the first one is invalid, this one is valid. And the reason why is Outbrain's automatically going to append that big string of UTM code automatically. So by you putting it there through your BMob code, it's not going to work. And usually you can just paste this link. For Outbrain purposes, you want to stop it right before that question mark and your UTM code and just use this. Once you've done that, it's going to pull an auto text from your page. So let's take a look at my landing page. So our gorgeous Russian and Ukrainian single ladies want to meet older gentlemen. So that line has been automatically pulled from my ad copy, which isn't a terrible thing. And you can be creative on your own if you have something more slick or something more clever. And once you've done that, you're going to look at your ad image. So I'm going to click replace. I'm going to upload. And we're going to look at Russian 1. Apply. Now, as you can see, it's nothing crazy. Like she's not, it's not provocative or sexual or anything like that. That's very important. I'm going to show you some guidelines here in a few minutes, but this is simple. This is it. This is your content. You're good to go. Once you've done that, you're going to hit submit. And when you do, it's going to be sent for approval. Now, that's literally all you have to do to set up your Outbrain campaign. It's fairly simple. I'm going to show you the one I set up in anticipation for the webinar, the one that we're going to be doing this follow along with. I submitted 5 pieces of content. Everything was good to go. They were all rejected. Now, the first thing I do when I'm looking at a new traffic source is I want to know what I can and can't do. I'm not going to waste my time going back and forth with rejected ads, and you shouldn't either. You should always go in and see what's acceptable and what isn't. Now, I went in and I took a look, and I see this adult heading here. Nope. Oh, actually. Prohibited categories. Okay, adult. No promotion or sale of adult products. Our page is good. We don't promote or sell adult products. Content may not be overly sexual. Okay, so I don't see anything wrong with these ad copies. There's no skin whatsoever. You know, our gorgeous Russian and Ukrainian single ladies want to meet older gentlemen. I didn't see anything wrong with that either. Doesn't imply nudity. No. Display excessive amounts of skin cleavage focused unnecessarily on body parts. No, that doesn't, you know, allude to sexual activity. No, it's complete dating. So figured it was okay. And I also look down here and you can see high risk of fraud, restricted categories, dating and personals. Content must not promote one-night stands, hookups, and sexual encounters. Content must not promote infidelity or casual sex. So again, my campaign does not touch on any of those things, yet it was still rejected. So I need to contact my rep, which I've done, and I'm waiting to hear back, and we need to figure out what the situation is. The only thing I can maybe think of is when you look at the actual headline, our gorgeous Russian and Ukrainian single ladies want to meet older men. Meet might imply hookups or casual meeting or whatever that may be against their terms. So I actually changed that and I made it date older gentlemen, and I had resubmitted. So we're going to see if that makes a difference. And again, the rep is going to be able to tell you exactly what's wrong with it. But a lot of times, because it is a kind of a risky niche, same with diet. Joey had the same situation. He has a very clean, very white hat funnel set up on Facebook. And as soon as he submitted his first ad, you can chime in too if I'm wrong, Joey, but I believe you were rejected and then you appealed it. And then you were rejected again and you appealed it again. And it was because of like a blanket flag or block.
Yeah. Turn off your mic for 1 sec. Yeah, so on diet and dating and casino, all these types of campaigns that you generally see inside CPA networks are often looked at by ad networks, with I guess discretion, and in a sense where they're automatically going to probably deny it until you actually speak to somebody and you have to change a few words or images. Maybe there's too much cleavage or something in this video or this picture, or it's too sexually attractive for what they want on their site. So everything is, there's always a fine line that you need to kind of get over. And the best way to do it is through your reps. And we have a rep for Outbrain, so we speak to him. He's in New York City, so hopefully he'll reply here soon. We sent him a message this morning, actually, on this campaign in particular, but especially even on diet for Facebook, though, the other campaign that I'm running inside Powerhouse that you can watch the case study. When I submitted the first ads, the reason why it was, I believe it was automatically banned instantly was because of the word 25 and the word keto. So the system automatically thinks I'm saying lose 25 pounds or lose 25 pounds in 25 days, whatever, all that kind of stuff. They automatically screen it, and their bots will automatically ban it or, disapprove those ads because there's so much abuse in these niches. So with that one on Facebook, I actually appealed it and it came back to life. And then I submitted 10 more ads. And again, it was all disapproved, and I appealed it again, and now it's live again, and it's running completely white hat. I'm sending people to a completely clean page. Everything is in terms, but you have to make sure that before you appeal or you talk to your reps that you have checked, like Joe just did, going through each of the terms, making sure you're not breaking them. Because if you go back to an appeal and you lose your appeal, especially on Facebook, you're likely going to just lose your account. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're not breaking any of the rules. And that's, I guess that's the key point here. There's nothing really blatantly where Bill's trying to, blatantly break the rules of Outbrain here, but there's discretion, and it's oftentimes just an ad reviewer saying, nah, forget it. I don't want to lose my job because I approve this. But really, there's nothing wrong with it, so it has to go a level higher. And you can obviously avoid that by choosing niches that are a little more clean, but these ones seem to make the most money, and that's why we focus on them. Skincare is a good one too, where you see a lot of these ads getting disapproved. But most of the time in skincare, it's disapproved because of people using celebrity faces and, saying, Chrissy Brinkley or someone like that. So I guess just follow the rules, and you can make a lot of money in these niches, and especially diet, skincare, casino, dating. But there's really a fine line, and I guess that's just my 2 cents. Go ahead, Bill.
Exactly. And I mean, here's another thing. I have a lot of people coming to me and they're saying like, this traffic source rejected my ads. What do I do? Just fight for it. You have to fight. Like, I mean, if you're not doing anything wrong and you're following the rules, reach out to somebody. I mean, they want your money. They want you to run on their network, especially if you are somebody that's being honest and doing what you're supposed to. So sometimes you do have obstacles like that because of the rampant amounts of fraud and different things that are going on. So yeah, I mean, just fight for it. And I mean, we're going to hear back from our rep. If he comes back and says anything, he might not even like the offer itself. He might not like my landing page. He may just not have liked the wording. Whatever it may be, we're going to negotiate and we're going to talk and I'm going to fix it and we're going to move forward. So let me move back over here. So back to Outbrain. So yeah, so essentially right now, like I expected to have a lot of great data for you. Unfortunately, these ads were all rejected. And I'm going to show you guys real fast, just going through my funnel with this page. So there's a timer there, and just thinking of it right on this second, that may have been the issue. A lot of sites do not like timers because you're kind of creating pressure for somebody subconsciously, and they may do something that they don't want to do. So like a lot of people don't, or a lot of networks don't allow timers or anything like that. So yeah, who are you? I'm a man. Are you at least 24? I am. Would you treat all the Russian Ukrainian women you meet with date respect? Yes, sure I would. Even though I'm married. Don't tell my wife. Thank you. You can now see profile and photos of Russian and Ukrainian women. Please keep their identity secret. I will. I agree. It's loading. Boom. So if you can see here, when I initially showed you guys this was like way more racy than the actual landing page. That was like a preview we got from the advertiser, but this one here, where'd it go? Yeah, I mean, this is clean. And it's, yeah, so I can't see them having any issue with this. I can't see them having any issue with the ads other than maybe that word meet instead of date. And outside of that, I think it was either a mistake, a blanket flag or ban on the ads, or disapproval, I should say, or it may be that timer. But we're going to find out real soon. And once this goes live, you're going to be able to see it in real time within Powerhouse Affiliate. And I mean, that's the thing too. Like you guys, I want you guys to get testing, and I'm giving you guys an opportunity to test without testing. You get to be there. You get to see everything I'm doing and how I set it up. And you're going to sit to see the results without paying $1 on your own traffic. So, and who knows, this I have no idea whether this is going to be extremely profitable or a complete waste of time. That's why we're testing. So I always look for things that I think or have a hunch that are going to work. This isn't just a shot in the dark. I do know dating does work with natives, so I'm anticipating good or mediocre to good results starting out. So follow along. I mean, if this works, there's nothing stopping any of you from coming in here, jumping on App Launcher, jumping in, grabbing the template, grabbing the offer from Vault, signing up for free to BMob, setting it up, and running it. Like, it's all right there for you. I went through it in less than 20 minutes, just showing you the ins and outs. So, and again, like Joey and I have been doing this training on these different aspects for a very long time. There's a massive amount of resources just sitting there inside Powerhouse. Jump on them, take action, and get your own campaign set up. Now, let me go back to our presentation here. Okay. So if you're brand new and I went through that a little bit too fast, I want to give you guys kind of like a checklist on what you need to get started. So you need a CPA offer, whether it's a dating one that I'm using in this, whether it's some other ones that are in there. It could be any offer, but you need to start with an offer. Ask Joey in the forum, or ask myself in the forum, or ask some of the other affiliates in the forum that have been successful. There's a lot of guys in there that are doing well. You know, do they have any hunches or ideas on what you could potentially promote? Other people's experience will give you some advice and insight on whether you should do that or not. You could come to us with an offer and say, I'm ready to go, and you feel great about it. Joey or I may have lost $500 or $1,000 testing it 2 months ago, and we can give you that insight so you're not wasting your time. And we may also be able to tell you where's a good place to test. Maybe hint, hint, Outbrain and dating, you know. So you need a CPA offer. That's your first thing. You can get that within Vault Media. If you don't know what Vault Media is, it's a private affiliate network for our Powerhouse members only. You know, we don't bring people off the street. It is specifically for our community. Domain name, you can get that through App Launcher. There's no way around paying for a domain name. You know, unless you want to get like a subdomain on like Wix.com or something, but I highly discourage you from doing that. I would focus on purchasing a .com. We sell them through App Launcher, and we also provide free hosting through App Launcher to our members. So you're paying for hosting one way or another. You may as well jump in Powerhouse and get it for free included in your membership. You're going to need at least 3 to 5 landing pages to test. I started it with this one. However, I do have a few more I'm going to upload. My main focus is to try to get this campaign approved. Sometimes when you have 5 landing pages in rotation and the people that are reviewing your ads will look at them, they're not seeing all the landing pages. Like, let's just say that 1 out of 5 of them is bad and you know, it's against their terms, let's say. If they go to review it and they see that landing page out of the 5, then your campaign is going to be shut down. So what I like to do is start with a landing page that I know is going to be approved, and I will usually add some later. And again, it is important to still stick to the terms because they will find your landing pages eventually if you're doing something you shouldn't. But give them 1 to start. That's why I have 1 in there. But if you're going to be doing this, really testing, you want 3 to 5. Tons of them inside our library. We're all constantly adding more. No reason why you can't go in and download them. They're completely included within the Powerhouse membership. You're gonna need 5 to 10 ad copies. I'm gonna show you guys that real fast actually because I didn't cover it yet. So let's look at that real fast. This is a website called Life of Ads. If you've been watching our webinars for any amount of time, you've probably seen us talk about this, and I've actually shown this. You can get examples for ad copies here. It's completely free. ofads.life is the URL. You can see above here. So yeah, go in, type in dating, look up some ads. That one's a little bit racy, but or even put some single, I actually find is a good word. All right, you're gonna have to play with that. Either way, you can find lots of great ads in there. So it's pretty easy to find ad copies. There's other ways too. I have a few different posts within the Powerhouse forum showing you other ways to spy and to find ad copies. Once you have that, you're going to need your BMob tracking account, which is completely free. If you do not know how to set it up, Powerhouse has extensive amounts of resources showing you step-by-step with screenshots. I believe there's videos that Joey's made on it. There's so much resources in there. So you're completely covered. You're going to need an Outbrain account to get started. That's fairly simple. It's free. Sign up, get in contact with Outbrain. And once you have your Outbrain account, you're going to need at least $300. My recommendation to start testing. Even if you start, like I guess if you really want to start $20 a day, you can do that, but you're really not going to get any data. You know, if you can have 300 to 500 to start testing, maybe 50 to 100 a day, that's going to give you some data to move forward and decide whether it's even worth continuing. So at least $300. So I'm going to let you guys in on a deal here. I'm going to show you some stuff that you probably haven't seen. If you've been following us for any period of time, or if you're already a premium member, you know all about it, I'm sure. But we have a lot of new guys watching, and I want them to take advantage of this. $47 a month is the membership for Powerhouse Affiliate. If you haven't heard of Powerhouse Affiliate before, I'm about to school you guys all about Powerhouse and what's in there. You can access it at powerhouseaffiliate.com/special. And $47 a month. Now, a lot of people are like, all right, I'm already paying so much for everything else. What are you going to give me for $47? This seems foolish. Powerhouse members get over 100 hours of proven training broken down into courses. We're continuously adding it. As you can see, this is even going to be included within the training material and everything going forward. That's all we do is produce new content. So you're going to get a comprehensive action plan to get started immediately. We've put something together that kind of puts everything in perspective, and you can attack it immediately. Weekly webinars and access to our past webinars. We're always doing new webinars. I'm really looking forward to Joey's webinar next week on the Facebook stuff. It was great, the first part. Part two, we're actually going to get to see some real data. And because I happen to know Joey, I know a thing or two you guys don't, and I'm excited to see what's about to come up. So I would definitely get in on that. And that one's, again, only available to premium members. We're not giving that away to the public, unfortunately. And once you see what's inside, you'll understand why. We have lots of follow-along campaigns and case studies. This native Outbrain campaign I'm working on is going to be included within our case studies. You get full access to the private CPA network. We get a lot of great offers in there, and we can get you literally any offer you want. If you want an offer and you don't see it there, tell myself or Joey, and we will ensure we get it. You get full access to our private affiliate forum. This is where a lot of the magic happens. There's a lot of great information in there, a lot of discussion, and other people showing their campaigns and what they've done. You really can't put a value on that. Some people do. You hear other places paying like $97 a month and all these other things, but I think the forum value is much higher than that. You get full access to our landing page template library, which I've shown you multiple times in this webinar. Great place to be if you're not super great at HTML. The templates are there for you. They're very easy to navigate. And if you like to build your own pages and you want something like ClickFunnels or a click to point to click page builder, we have our own landing page studio. It's included within the membership as well. You get free hosting for all your sites. I mean, that's $20 a month you're going to pay regardless, no matter what you're doing. So I think it is all great. And of course, you get the live coaching from real affiliates, which is Joey, myself, and many other people within the community that have been doing it for a while and have demonstrated success within Powerhouse. So let's look at the total value of everything I just described to you guys. Like the training, you're looking at least $5,000 or more. We're looking at 20 years experience between Joey and myself, more so on Joey's than mine, but there's lots of experience there, lots of information. Now, look around, guys. Like I know for a fact you're going to be paying thousands of dollars for any form of training that you're going to get that's going to be worthwhile. And it's literally like a training that you buy and it's done. Like this is a live community that's continuously growing, and we don't want $5,000 for you for the training. I mean, following campaigns and case studies, you're looking at $2,000 or more, depending on who you're going to buy them from. Affiliate form, like I mentioned, you're looking at $97 a month for some of the other ones, like Stack That Money. There's a few others, AF-paying. Ours is included within the membership. Landing page templates. I don't know if you've ever hired a designer to build HTML pages for you, but it's very expensive with the templates that we have in there. It's very conservative to say 2,500 plus. There's a lot of value there. Landing page studio, ClickFunnels, you're paying $99 a month or more. Any of the other competitors, ours is included. Hosting costs, $20 a month. Like I mentioned, that's included. And you're also getting live support from proven super affiliates, which like Joey and myself and others. And if you've ever done any coaching or received any coaching or looked to pay for coaching, it's not cheap. You're looking at $200 an hour or more. It's ridiculous. So this is all included, and this is the value that's included to our members. We're talking $9,500 in material, $216 in monthly recurring, $1,000 plus in coaching, and you get it for $47 a month. I don't know what else to say at this point, guys. Like if you're looking to get into affiliate marketing and you're brand new, there's not a better place out there other than Powerhouse Affiliate. If you're somebody that's been an affiliate for a while and you've had some success, but you're looking to grow, there's no place better for you than Powerhouse Affiliate. And even if you're an expert, come on in. I mean, there's things I learn new every day from some of the members that are in that community. Joey learns every day. We've been at it a very long time, and I would like to consider myself an expert. I'm sure Joey considers himself an expert at this point. And you're constantly learning. So this isn't just for new people. It's not for guys struggling. It's not just for experts. It's for everyone. And you know, we've encompassed this training to include pretty much every level that you may be on at this point. So $47 a month. I would head over immediately to powerhouseaffiliate.com/special and jump on board. We're not going to leave this up forever. That's domain. So if you don't get over there now and get the $47 a month, you may miss out. I would jump on immediately and get access. I think that's it. I think I kind of overwhelmed some people with that, but I'm going to stick with it. Want to get into some questions, Joey? Okay, I got one here. How can I see the results from the Outbrain dating campaign? Okay, so this is going to continue on, but it is going to continue on inside Powerhouse. So you would have to upgrade to a premium membership to get access to that. But again, we just went through all that and all the value you're going to get for it. But like, yeah, you're not going to get the actual end of this for free. You're going to have to jump into Powerhouse.
The question is actually, would this work on Rev content or any other native ad networks? And I think, generally speaking, this is Outbrain is probably one of the most strict out there, next to Taboola. So the odds of it being approved immediately on Rev content or content ad or MGID are probably a lot better. Bill has taken the challenge of trying to take this into one of the most strict native ad networks, only because the more strict they are, obviously the higher quality of traffic. So again, Taboola and Outbrain are probably one of the two hardest native ad networks to get your ads approved if you're running CPA affiliate offers. But once you are approved and you have your contacts available, you can really make a lot of money there. And this is why Bill and I travel to, you know, I've gone to Barcelona Affiliate World Summits. You know, Bill's been to Vegas a few times for these events. I've been to New York, and I'm going to New York this year. When we go there, there's a reason for that. We come to these events because we meet ad reps on these major ad networks. Like I've even met people from Facebook, you know, directly talking to people from Facebook ads, you know, talking to people at Outbrain, getting cards from these people, talking to them, going out for beer or whatever it is, and you figure out exactly how to get your ads approved here, okay? You're not going to lose your accounts when you know somebody inside. So that's the purpose of these events, and that's why we go to them, and that's why we have a community, Powerhouse Affiliates, so that we can meet people and, you know, be part of the industry and known, so that you know, you have that advantage in the end. I don't see any other questions there, Bill. So I think we'll just end it there. Thanks everyone for attending. It's Friday afternoon here. I'm going to fire up the barbecue. It's finally warm in Canada here, which has been a long time coming. So anyway, thank you again for attending, and we will see you on the inside.